Welcome friends, this is Ashutosh Bajpai. Once again I'm back with a new video, and this time I'm going to discuss about the G20 summit, a very important topic. Uh, at present this is a very important topic. Why? Because the G20 summit will be held in Hamburg, Germany from 7th to 8th of July. So this is a pre-summit video, and I'll post one more video after the summit, but under of this video I'll be discussing about the history and the previous summits of the G20. So let's begin with the slide. The Group of 20, G20, is a forum for advancing international cooperation and coordination among 20 major advanced and emerging market economies. Originally established in 1999, the G20 rose to prominence during the global financial crisis of 2008-2009 and is now the premier forum for international economic cooperation. It means it was originally established in 1999, and when it was formed after the Asia's economic crisis, and after the Asia's economic crisis, world's developed economies got afraid, and they all came together and formed a group for the stability of the economies and cooperation between each other. The G20 was established in late 1999 with the initial 7 developed countries. Countries were Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK and USA. Its first summit was held in USA, United States of America, 2008. I've tried to make it very clear here on your screen. You can see that there is a picture, there is a globe, so you can understand and know about their geographical locations of the initial 7 countries. G20 is a forum of 19 countries plus European Union. We all know that European Union is a group of several countries. So European Union represents on the behalf of all the countries in G20 summits. Means countries individually do not participate in the summits. So let's discuss about the member countries. Member countries are Argentina, Canada, Italy, Germany, South Africa, United Kingdom, South Korea, Turkey, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, India, Indonesia, Japan, USA, Mexico, France, Australia and Russia. When G20 was formed with the 7 nations, at that time all countries were the developed nations, but now developed and developing both economies are the part of the Group 20 summit or G20 summit. You can see here now the globe, and you can compare with the previous one when G20 was started and at present. There is a map of the member countries plus European Union. Almost 70% of the globe or 70% of the world nations or world economies are covered, or you can say that are a part of the Group 20 summit. So this is a very big platform, and it's our privilege that India is also a member of G20. Now we'll discuss about the history of the G20 summit or G20 forum. Prior to global financial crisis of 2008 and 2009, international economic discussions at the top leaders level primarily took place among a small group of developed industrialized economies. Before 2008 or 2009's Asia's crisis, beginning in the mid of 1970s, leaders started a discussion, a small groups discussion, okay, among the 5 countries, and these 5 countries were France, Germany, Japan, United Kingdom and the United States. These 5 countries began to meet annually to discuss international economic challenges. This group was famous, or you can say that this group was called Group 5 or G5. Later on, Italy and Canada joined. It became Group of 7 or G7, formally superseded the G5 in the mid of 1980s. Means it superseded from G5 to G7 in the mid of 1980s. In 1998, Russia also joined and created it G8. Means when Russia joined this forum, earlier it was known as G5, and when Russia joined, it's creating. Although emerging economies became more active in international economy, particularly in a financial market starting in the early 1990s, this was not reflected in the international financial architecture until the Asian financial crisis in 1997 and 1998. Uh, the G20 was established in the late 1999 as a permanent international economic forum for encouraging coordination between advanced and emerging economies. However, the G20 was a secondary forum to the G7 and G8. Here is a one very important thing to understand. Like G7 and G8 both are the different forums, but G20 formed later on. Whatever I have discussed here in the last page and in this page, it was all about the beginning of the G7 and G8. Means it was the starting of the groups. Okay, so when G7 earlier in the starting, means when 7 countries got together and formed the group, that was known as G7, and when Russia joined, it was famous, it was known as G8. Russia fired, we all know that last 2 years or 3 years back, I think Russia fired, and again now this group is known as G7. So G7 and G20 at present both are the different groups. I have discussed here about the G7 and G8 just because to understand the history of the groupings. Last summit, means 11th G20 summit, was held in China's Hangzhou city in 2016, and the big achievement of this summit was USA and China's ratification of a Paris Agreement. Why this two countries ratification was important? Reason behind that China is on the top in terms of carbon emission, and USA is on the second position. So that's why this was the important. As already discussed, EU is a member of G20 and represent all European Union countries in the summit, and member countries do not represent there individually. And last one is the 12th summit of G20 will take place in Hamburg, Germany, and Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi will represent the countries there. As I can see here in the news channels, and he has tweeted also, like he has already departed for the G20 summit, and before taking part in G20 summit, he will visit to the Israel also. Before I conclude this video, I would like to share a very important information about Paris climate change. As I have just discussed about the last meeting of G20, it was very important because USA and China ratified their supports to Paris climate change. But now in the last month, I think US President Mr. Donald Trump withdrew USA's support towards Paris Climate Agreement, and the USA is no more with this agreement. You can browse here the ratified countries and signed countries and not signed countries. Here is a picture in front of you on a screen, so you can watch it and make your wise decision. So that's it with this video. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, then please subscribe, share, and pass the comments for your queries. And you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Ashutosh203222, and my Facebook ID is ashu009proofnet@gmail.com. Under my Facebook ID, you will find my page, study page, that is online study and tech support. So thanks for your time. I would say bye, and we'll get back to you soon. Cheers.